Welcome my friends, Seven Gray here. I think you can probably guess where I am right now. I'm back in the United States. I arrived late last night, just outside of Las Vegas, Lake Mead area, up in a very small little city. One of my subscribers that I met this last summer lives here and it invited me to park my step van here while I was away in Europe, and I just returned spending the night here, and I just got the keys back and I'm excited to get back into the step van. Alright, hopefully everything's still intact. Yep, looking good. Everything looks good here, and nothing is like growing. Doesn't look like there's any rats that have been here, no critters. Everything is just fine. I should mention that when I pulled in here just before leaving for Europe, I did have one minor catastrophe. I snapped a photo with my mobile phone, but I didn't really take the time to whip out the video camera and do a dialogue on it. Let me explain what happened. Over here I had this drawer set up on top of my countertop. I thought I had a pretty brilliant system. I was taking these clamps here and I was clamping them onto the countertop down here to create a barrier here. So there was a barrier right here and another clamp down here. So I had two clamps set up like this right in this area. And inside of this drawer there used to be a whole bunch of teacups like this. Well, on the ride coming in here, this drawer, well, it didn't stay. These little clamps vibrated and fell off, and this drawer, which was full of about 20 teacups, just fell off and down here onto the floor. And now over here I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teacups, and that's all that's left. My teapot, the ceramic one that I had that was so nice, shattered and broke, and I just have the steel one left from Giuseppe over here. So that's it. All my other tea supplies have been pretty much broken and destroyed. So I'm going to be making some stops here over the next several weeks at thrift stores and garage sales and stuff like that. Hopefully I'll be able to find a real nice collection of eclectic teacups. I really like the small ones. So these, this style about this size is really what I'm going for. Don't feel like you need to send any to me. I don't really have an address right now for you to send teacups. But anyway, that was a little catastrophe that happened, and probably the only thing that happened just before I left, and everything else appears to be fine. Today's project, being back in the step van, I've got a couple of things to do. I want to get ready to move from here. I'm going to head down south. I think I'll probably attend Jamie's van build party, which is down near Parker, Arizona, about 3 hours south of here. So I want to do an oil change, check my air pressure, and just sort of go over the step van, make sure that everything is intact and functional. Started up today, just driving around, make sure everything's running okay. Got some jugs of oil here. Gotta get those out. Get everything completely ready. Alright, I've got my new filter. Gotta go extract this old one out of here, which is a little bit of a challenge. Every time I change the oil, I'm so tempted to pay $300 or $400 for the oil change, which is what the mechanics want for this. It is quite the ordeal to get off that fuel filter. It just doesn't want to come out, and getting the wrench in there around it just is nearly impossible. Probably a 20-30 minute ordeal. Got to figure out a more efficient way to do that. Anyway, my gloves were on, my hands were all oily, so I didn't film any of that. Everything's put back together, a new oil filter, plugs back in, all the oil's back in. I'm gonna start it up, make sure everything works. So it's been a good, what, month or so since I've started this. We'll see how it does. I'm guessing it won't start the first time. Probably take a couple attempts. Well, I guess I was wrong. While I was changing the oil, Brian, whose place I'm staying at here, came out and he started monkeying around with the oil pressure and checking all the tires because he knew that was on my list.
and I was pretty much preoccupied with that. So I didn't get any video of that because gloves on my hand, oil, and it didn't mix with shooting video. So anyway, he went around and checked all the air pressure, found that the passenger side rear outside wheel was at 30 pounds. All the others looked good. So we used my air compressor. I've got a pancake compressor, and topped off the air. Might have a slow leak in that wheel. I have to check it again in a couple of days. If so, then take it in a tire shop. I'm pretty much wiped. Changing the oil was quite the ordeal to get that oil filter off. I think I need to change and get a different kind of a clamp instead of one that's circular that goes around the oil filter with a little handle on it that sort of latches down. I need to switch from that because there's just not enough space to monkey around and get that twist in there. To get one that's a bottom thing, like I've seen them that are like a cup from the bottom that grabs it, and if I do that, then I'll be able to spin it from the bottom and get it out much easier. So next time I'm going to try that. That's all I have for this episode. Thank you for watching. Savor the moment, and I'll see you next episode.